Hello everybody, welcome back to the Angel Angle. And it is a frosty negative 50 degrees here in Southern California. It's not Southern California. Luckily the Angels are out in Arizona where it's probably a little bit warmer, but right now we are freezing our noses off. As you can tell, we have the Angel beanie on, and I am now wearing the Angel hoodie over my Angel hat. So Father, you have a little special something set up for our millions of viewers that watch this podcast every single week. Would you like to go ahead and give a shout out to our wonderful fans out there?
Absolutely. So, we were just looking at a lot of the feedback, and I know this isn't everybody, but we wanted to make sure that we kind of gave some shout outs today to some of the people, some of you people out there that have been watching us. We really appreciate it because we really didn't figure there'd be more than like 6 or 7 maybe beyond family members. But we actually have quite a few people, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, get ready. He's about to read off like 50,000 names.
No, I wish it was 50,000 names. Not 50,000 names, but definitely some people we want to just give you guys some shout outs. Thank you for watching. So we're, of course, on YouTube, obviously, and we're also on Facebook. And so for Facebook, I'm in a lot of Angel baseball groups.
Yeah, a lot of echo chambers in the Facebook area.
Absolutely. So just going to call out names for thumbs up from people. So we'll start off in Just Another Halo Victory group. We got thumbs up from Chris, Nate Barton, and Anthony Henson Sr. Thank you very much for your thumbs up. Halo Joe himself from the Halo Joe group.
Halo Joe.
Absolutely. He said, "Great job, fellas. Keep up the good work." How about that? We got a shout out from Halo Joe.
I live every day of my life just to get confirmation.
Yeah, I'll take it. Halo Joe. Got to meet you, Halo Joe. And then also Mary Sargent, Gary Zarati, and Ray Ruiz gave us thumbs up from the Halo Joe group as well. So thank you guys for that. We got 1 thumbs up from the Angels Baseball Real Talk Uncensored group, and that was from John Frank. So thank you, John. John Frank.
He's the guy.
That's it. And then we also got the Angels Fans for Life group, and we got quite a few people that gave us thumbs up or little emoji faces or something or another.
Gotta love the emoji faces.
There you go. So we got it. And now I might butcher some names here. I apologize, but we got a Ron Helgren, a Jesus Valdez Jr., a Kian Rachetti, Molly Crow, Alvin Wright, Vicky Qualatro, Cindy Garcia Dodd, Glenn Jr. Narwald, and Steve McManus. So thank you guys for your thumbs up and checking us out. We really appreciate it.
Someone's last name is Narwhal?
Narwald. Yeah.
Just get rid of that D. It's Narwhal. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. We appreciate it. And then the LA Angels of Anaheim group. Boy, there's a lot of groups out there. We got some love from Cody Ford, Talia Van Fowler, Hitoshi Tsuyoshi, I believe that is, Brad Johnson, Robert Caputo, Angel Yang, Stan Perryman, and Jim Crownover. So thank you guys for watching us from the LA Angels of Anaheim group. Halo Nation, we got 1 shout out from Randy Olivares. Angel Zone, Shirley Sanchez, we got a thumbs up, so thank you guys for that. And then the one thing I wanted to mention is our most liked, and we've only done this, only going to be our 4th episode, but episode 3, the 3rd baseman all time, was the most commented. So I'll share some of the comments from that.
It's because people love Troy Gloss.
Absolutely.
I love Troy Gloss.
Well, Randy, who I called out before, Oliveira, said he liked Gloss, DeCinces, and Lansford. And he said we should have never traded Lanford for Burleson, so he wasn't happy about that. But I would agree with you there, Mr. Randy. Cindy Garcia Dodds just said great picks.
She was talking about me.
Yeah. Troy Gloss is my favorite. That was from Dylan Ortega.
Amen, brother.
Thank you, Dylan. Brent Stone, good picks, but most memorable and significant hit was Anderson in Game 6. That's what he has to say about that. When you said that it was Gloss's double, he thought it was Anderson.
He's wrong.
Prior. prior in that inning. Thank you, Brett. Hey, that's what the Angel Angle is all about, right? Some argumentation. We love to do that.
Well, some angles are better than other angles.
Brian Santo, Troy Gloss by far for longevity. So that was his overall pick. He
he had a great body. Saw him at the travel game. Is still in good shape. So
yeah, for
good
the
body.
infield fly rule thing. Is that what that was?
Yeah, he put his arm up. He had great lats.
I'm glad you noticed those things. Nicholas D'Amico, he gave us some sad emojis for the Brandon Wood and Dallas McPherson mentions.
Yeah, he kind of put a bad name on the Brandon. So
yeah, absolutely. And then we got Caesar Noel Quinon, basically just said Troy Gloss, and I think that was Gloss and DeSensei were the
sums it up right there, man.
Yep. Joseph Chung, he says hands down Doug DeSensei and Troy Gloss of 2002 was his picks.
Yeah, I already forgot what I put. So
Steve Latner gave us a Troy Gloss. Keith Elliott just gave us a funny emoji for the Brandon Wood. And Brad Johnson gave us a funny emoji for the Dallas McPherson. So they were both on that. And then John Crowell said, good call, Joseph, referring to Joseph Chung's picks from earlier. So
boy, Joseph.
Yeah, getting some shout outs.
Woo!
Yeah. And then Michael Craig agreed, but he says the reverse order of Joseph Chung's was his pick. And then Tama Bradley says, you guys are great. I love that one. And then Kathy Everett says she loves this.
Wow.
Yeah, so absolutely. And I do believe Kathy Everett is a cousin of mine, a distant cousin of mine. So I'll take that anytime. So anyway, we wanted to just make sure we gave some shout outs. I know this is not everybody. Next week we'll bring some more up, but we just wanted to make sure that we got some in there. And then just from the general Facebooks, I appreciate family and friends that are coming out of the woodworks. We got Louise Baguki Sento and Maria Risto Flente and Jeff Vogt and Derek Carthy, Dana McQuallen, Grace Takamoto, and Bud Plunkett, who is an old coach of mine from high school. Shout outs from all you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, my mom, Diane, my dad, Dave, and my sister, Dina, giving us lots of love on there. So thank you guys. But we just wanted to make sure we did some shout outs for everybody watching out there.
Yeah, I do want to talk about one person in particular in our very first ever podcast. I want to talk to you, Kyle, Mr. Kyle Strange. Let me tell you something right now. Giving me attitude in my own video. Let me tell you something right now, Kyle. How do I pick C.J. Wilson and Matt Shoemaker for the all-time pitching rotation? It's because I'm him, and it's my rules. And again, Shoemaker, great name, Wilson, great hair, and Kyle, you just don't understand baseball, man. It's not about winning. It's not about how good you do. It's about how good your hair is and how cool your name is. So, Kyle, that's my little that's my rebuttal for you, Kyle. Maybe next time, go put your strange comment somewhere else.
Kyle, I feel for you. This is what I get to deal with every day. So anyway, Kyle, we appreciate it. We appreciate any feedback we get. So we love it.
And just letting you guys know, I am a staunch disbeliever in thanking our fans. I never, ever will thank you guys ever.
Yeah, he says that, but it doesn't mean it.
Well, it's true. Look, when I have my little YouTubers that I watch, whenever they go on a tangent, thanking us, I'll be honest with you, unless it's like a thank you guys for watching, if they go any further than that, I want them to shut up. I don't subscribe to you to get thanks from you. I know you're thankful.
Well, we haven't asked anybody to subscribe or to like or anything.
You're right, and it's because that's my mandate. I refuse to ask anyone for any subscribes or likes. So anyway, we will go on to the topics of discussion today. We are in spring training baseball. However, there are some Angels on the roster at the moment who are out of options. And if you guys do not know, at the end of spring training, their Angels are going to have to make some decisions on a couple of players. If they do decide to opt them to the minor leagues, in order for them to go to the minor leagues, they have to go through waivers because these select players are out of minor league options. So essentially, these players are going to be exposed to the other 29 teams. Any other 29 teams can go pick them up, no questions asked, if they don't make the MLB roster opening day. So these players that are out of options at the moment are Mr. Matt Thaiss, Jaime Barria, Tucker Davidson, and Luis Rengifo and Jose Suarez. Now, Jose Suarez, He's making the team. I think they've already decided it is a lock. So Jose Suarez is not a problem. I would probably say that out of the rest of the four, Theis, Berea, Davidson, and Rengifo, I think Rengifo is the next safest bet. I see them platooning him and Fletch at shortstop.
Your two favorite shortstops.
They are the best shortstop tandem in all of baseball. Maybe Urshela, but I do see Luis Rengifo making the team. So
it really comes down to the other three, I think.
Is Theis, Berea, and Davison. Berea had a great year last year out of the pen. His first year game put to the pen full-time with the Angels as a long reliever. I like the idea of him being a long reliever. Because even him as a starter, when he used to start for us, he would be great for maybe the first 3 innings. And then it would be around the 4th or 5th inning where he would get blown up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's perfect for his role in the bullpen. And it showed last year. He had a great year last year where you can put him out there for 2-3 innings. And whether it's a mop-up role, whether you're way ahead, or hey, maybe it is the 5th or 6th inning, it's a close game, but you just need 2 innings because maybe the bullpen's a little taxed.
Yeah.
Jaime Brea is your guy. I think Jaime Brea gets the spot. It really is going to, but I don't think he gets the 6th guy in the rotation spot. I like him better in the bullpen now. If he didn't want to be a reliever, he should have done a worse job last year in the bullpen. Maybe we think about him as a starter again.
Well, we need that long reliever. You're going to have those games that get away from us, and we need someone to come in and do the long work, or something like that. So he did good. Yeah, he did a good job. I think he found his niche. So, and I mean, he can spot start here and there. You have a guy that last minute gets sick and can't make a start. You can throw Jaime Berea in there. Not have to waste someone off of minor league options to bring him up and bring him back down just for a start.
Exactly. I like Jaime in the mop-up role. Good inning eater. Great guy, great teammate, great angel.
Yeah.
Been here for quite some time now. You didn't even realize it. He's been here for quite some time.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to 2 guys. It's Matt Theis and Tucker Davidson. Tucker Davidson, if you guys don't know, we acquired him from the Atlanta Braves last trade deadline for Rafael Iglesias, the best closer in Angels history. That's not true, by the way, but he was awesome. Which makes it tough because you kind of feel like, because the Iglesias trade, in my opinion, I don't know what happened with the Iglesias trade. I understand he has a lot of money on his contract, but I felt as if we probably could have gotten more for Iglesias than Tucker Davidson.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, obviously they were dumping money because if that's all you're getting, and I know Tucker Davidson is was well thought of in the Braves system, but it's still, it's not like
pitching some playoff games for him.
Yeah.
Early in the career, like barely any major league experience under the belt. They put him in really high leverage playoff games. He did great.
Well, I think between Theis and Davison, I really think Davison has the best chance of making it. I think he could be that potential number 5 guy that goes whenever we need a 5th guy. That's going to be the big thing. We talked about this earlier, that we're not always going to need that 5th role because they want Shohei to start every 6-day period. Whatever they're counting out 6 days, boom, Shohei's in there. Boom, Shohei's in there. And so they're going to skip that 5th spot sometimes. So this guy might be perfect. The one problem is with him being out of options, you really need a guy that you can move up and down, up and down, up and down, because they're going to want to put an extra reliever in there for a while. So my thought is that they might be using him in that switch role, almost like a Berea, or can we afford to carry 2 long guys? And basically he'll spot start when we need the 5th guy? That's a good question. I guess it's going to depend on, how everything shakes out. And I know options do play a big role sometimes in guys making the team.
It is. And in my experience in playing out of the park baseball, the baseball simulator, options are the number one thing when it comes to spring training decisions, really. Honestly, I think something that hurts Tucker Davidson is the signing of Matt Moore. Because in my mind, I understand Matt Moore is a reliever now. He is a reliever, but he has starting experience.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to stretch Matt Moore out.
I mean, look, if you're the Angels and you really just need a spot starter for that day, but you don't want to waste anyone's options down the minor leagues.
That's called an opener. 1 or 2 innings. That's really an opener. That's not a spot
Matt Moore can go a little bit.
No,
more
I know,
than
but
an
if you're,
opener.
but that
would
would
give you like 3 innings.
But that would be if they're going to stretch him out in spring. I don't see them doing that. I think he proved that he hasn't been an effective starter except for very early in his career with Tampa. The rest of the time he struggled, and I think he found the niche, and I think you don't mess with that. I think you leave him there. You got Berea as your long guy, and I just think either you try to squeeze Davison in, because what are you going to do with him? Or, unless they're going to trade him away, he isn't going to clear waivers. Someone will grab him. Too many people need pitching. He even had a nice start in spring. I know it's only spring. Spring doesn't really count.
That is the thing. Well, he did have a really good start in spring. The thing that was really a good sign for me was the way that he was filling up the strike zone. He was attacking guys really, really early in the counts, which last year when we watched him was a little bit of a problem. He would kind of fall behind in batters, and that's something that he said in interviews that he was working on, is just attacking hitters. And also he also talked about him changing up his mechanics. I think he might have changed up a pitch grip. That might have been someone else. I might just be making something up, but
sounds good to me.
You guys are going to believe it anyway. So yeah, he changed a pitch grip, and he looked really, really good. His first spring start, really, really good. So if he has like another couple good starts here in spring training, I have no problem with him being the sixth guy.
Yeah.
The sad part is Matt Thaiss.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with Thaiss. I mean,
I had
unless O'Hoppe, they start him in the minors
to start the year. That was my idea.
And you give Thaiss a try and see how does Thaiss perform. Yeah, the good thing about Thaiss in comparison to O'Hoppe,
he's versatile.
He's versatile because they moved him all over the place. He can play first and third, and he can catch. So you've got versatility, but the Angels have a lot of infield versatility.
We do not need versatility anymore. Yeah, versatility up the kazoo.
Yes, that's what I mean. So and I guess the big thing with Thaiss is his bat. That he just hasn't been able to catch up on the bat. It hasn't been there.
He's been getting better. He's like a 220 hitter now.
Okay, well, we love those 220 hitters. That's what's got us below 500 for the last 7 years.
It's just sad because Matt Thaiss has been there for a long time.
I know, but sometimes it's time for guys to move on, and not everybody's going to make it to the majors, and he might catch on somewhere else. If I was going to say someone's getting cut, unless they're going to just start the season just to play it out for depth and let O'Hoppe start the first couple weeks in the minors and bring Thaiss in, and then if Thaiss is. And Thaiss isn't even strong defensively at most of the positions either, so that's the problem. It's not like he's like some great guru. And if you're not going to hit and you're not great, that's why they moved him back to catcher, because he just really wasn't cutting it at third or first base. So I think Thaiss might be the one we see them, and maybe they trade him for another minor leaguer somewhere or something like that. If there's somebody that really needs that versatility with catcher, first, third. I mean, I love Thaiss, don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling he might be the odd man out.
I do think that Thaiss would be the odd man out of the people, and I say this for this reason. I think you're right. That's if we were to put Davidson on waivers, I think someone's picking him up, and I would hate to have traded to lose for nothing. The only guy we got for Raisel Iglesias.
Yeah, I agree.
And Matt Thaiss, I feel like, is the one guy that might have a chance of clearing waivers with no one taking him.
Yeah, and Davidson's is healthy now. I don't know. I think that guy's got too much upside. It gives us depth in our starting, which we need. You know what I mean? So I just think keeping him there and then letting all the other guys start, down in the minors, I think that'll just be more helpful to us longer in the season when we really need, because you're going to get a little beat up. It happens every year. We're just praying, right? We're praying that there's no major injuries that set us back, but you're always going to have those ding-ups. I got to go on the 14-day or whatever because of, little ding-ups. Those are going to happen. So that's where you're going to want that flexibility. But, yeah, I have a feeling Thaiss might be the odd man out unless, like I said, we decide to give him a few extra weeks and just say, hey, we're going to start the season with Thaiss. And I think that experiment will end pretty quickly, though. I don't see them carrying him long-term.
I have a prediction that Matt Thaiss is going to have a Taylor Ward kind of breaking out.
Is he using that? What was the name of that coach that the Angels brought on?
Brett Phillips is using him too.
Yeah,
Brett Phillips, Matt Thaiss, they're all going to break out like Taylor Ward this next season. So
then we need to sign. What's the guy's name?
We already signed him.
No, well, I understand that we signed him as like a consultant type thing. He's not the
he's
hitting coach.
Well, because we have
then
Eric
we fire
Haynes.
all the hit. Yeah, then we fire all the hitting coaches and
if
he can get I'm saying if he can get Thaiss and Brett Phillips to become great hitters, then he's our hitting coach. Sorry, he's our hitting coach because those guys are not atypical hitters. So anyway, that's our thoughts on out of option Angels.
Out of option Angels, unfortunately, I don't know where I was going with that one. Matt Thaiss, I'm sorry, might be the odd man out. We love you though. All right, it's time, everyone. The moment you've all been waiting for. Where is Johnny Giafadella on the top 3 Angels second baseman season list? It is the next rendition of our top 3 Angels at each position. This week we are doing second baseman. Why, you ask, Brandon? You just did left fielder. Shut up. We're doing second baseman now because I said so. Again, this is individual angel season, so you can choose 20. Shoot, what year was Johnny G? You can pick 2015 Johnny Giaffatella if you want to, as your top one.
He had one great week. It was good.
Don't talk about that. Don't
Are we going with the best week ever? Because that would broaden the scope. You know, one thing doing these things, I'll say this before we get into it. The one thing I noticed so far by doing this, other than the starting pitching, which was really hard because there was a lot of deserving people, all the rest, it's like one or two guys. That's how
the Angels
have
not had a really good history. I'll tell you that.
Well, at least the positions we've done so far.
When you go and research these positions, you kind of get a little sad. I'll be honest with you. You kind of look it up. You're like, there's like one good guy.
Yeah, two good guys.
If there's two good guys, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
there's two.
Yeah. It is true. So where are we starting today?
You
going first?
I'll go first.
You go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, let's
first
hear it.
Is 1983 Bobby Grich. Now, I'll tell you the exact reason why he automatically made it to on my list. It's because he had a 414 on base percentage. You know me, is if you get an on base percentage in the upper 300s, let alone a 400 on base percentage, you're almost guaranteed on my list. A 142 OPS plus, 16 bombs, and a 4.3 WAR. 1983 Bobby Grich is number 3rd on my list.
Wow.
And that should kind of forecast. That should.
Are you pulling a me from last week?
You're going to find out. You're going to find out.
Bobby Grich, number 3. All right. Well, so I looked at it, and you know, Grich is all over this thing. Let's just be upfront. I don't think there's a single Angel fan that would deny Bobby Grich is the greatest Angel third baseman I think we've ever had. Second baseman. Yeah, second baseman. But this is the thing. So,
oh boy,
I was
the
looking.
Emotional factor.
And I do. I like to throw some last week I went with the let's clear the boards, right, and give Garrett Anderson all the love. This week I'm going back to,
which didn't make any sense at all, by the way.
Well, listen, I'm going to mix things up a little bit this week again. So I did that just because I was, wanting to be different, and I don't even know why. Week to week, who knows what goes on in my brain.
Yeah, we make the rules. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. So this week, okay, so I'm going to kind of preface this that what's probably coming in my next picks. But for the third pick, I wanted to go something different. So I kind of looked, who are those, besides Bobby Grich, who are a couple of other second basemen? And we can look at guys like Adam Kennedy. We know what he did in the playoffs, 3 home runs in a game. He's just an Angel great because he played on the World Series team. Bobby Cannot, a long time, another Angel from back in the day. He played like 6 years with the Angels. He was good, but he definitely didn't have any, I would say, top seasons with the Angels. He was just a consistent...
He was a defender.
Yeah, and he was a very good defender and had some Gold Gloves from it. And then we had the guys like Sandy Alomar Jr., So there was a lot. But there was one name that I love. And this guy almost made my number 3. And really, he's just as good in the single year that I'm comparing him with my third pick. But I had to mention this guy because I loved his name. I think we got him in 87, like at the end of the season. Maybe it was an all-star break, trade deadline pickup or something. I don't remember. That was so long ago. But we got this guy, and he had an awesome year in 1988 in the best name in baseball. Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray. Just missed my list. I mean, great year in 88. He batted .306. His OPS was 773. I'm messing everything up. His slugging was 429. He wasn't, that wasn't his thing.
That's good.
His OPS plus was 119. So 19 better. Yeah, average. There you go. He wasn't a homer guy, 6 homers, but 83 RBIs. He had 42 doubles.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to mention Johnny Ray. I think he only spent like 3 years with us. I think it was 88 to 90. But I love Johnny Ray. I don't know what it was. He came on the team. I just absolutely loved him, and I loved his name. So you're always into the names or the looks or the hair.
The name is very important.
The name, Johnny Ray.
Johnny Ray.
God, that's just a good name, guys. So anyway, but my number 3 pick, let's get to it. I'm going with the 2011 Howie Kendrick.
Oh, Howie Kendrick. Yeah,
Howie Kendrick.
All-star Howie Kendrick.
Yes, all-star Howie Kendrick. Batted 285. His slugging was 464. OPS was 802. His OPS plus was 126. He had 30 doubles, 18 home runs, and 63 RBIs. Howie Kendrick, 9 years with the Angels.
He's an Angels legend.
He is. And I hated when he went to the Dodgers of all teams. No Angel fan wants one of our favorite players to go.
But we got Andrew Heaney.
We did, and we know how that turned out.
It was very good.
It was.
I love Andrew Heaney.
Yeah, and he went back to the Dodgers, and they somehow figured him out. So I don't know.
Figures out
let's not go down that road. Anyway, like I said, for me, Howie Kendrick, I gotta have him in there. Just his longevity, he was Mr. Consistency, had a good batting average every year. He kind of batted that low 300s to about 280 in that range.
Every year. Yeah.
Every year. Consistent, good defender.
Also a great name.
Yeah, and you could plug him into that number 2 spot a lot. He was really, he's kind of a good number 2 spot guy. He'll get you those doubles.
Back in the day. Now the 2 spot's like your best.
No, it is. That was a back in the day thing. But at any rate, so that's my number 3, 2011, Howie Kendrick.
All right, you might be surprised by this. My number 2, 1981 Bobby Grich. 304, average 370 on base, 543 slugging. That 543 slugging led the league. Now, it was a shortened year. They only played 100 games because of the player strike.
Yep.
But in 100 games, he hit 22 home runs. He led the league in OPS plus with 165. So he was 65% better than the average hitter in the league.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's very, very big. And he had a 5.5 WAR. Bobby Grich, I mean, the numbers aren't. I'll be honest with you. If it's not before like 2012, if it's before 2012, I don't know them very well.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of research, unless it's like the 2002.
Yeah. Well, I get it.
That
stretch. No, I get it because that's when you were born. So.
Yeah, 2012. I was born in 2012.
Yeah. Or 2002, but I mean anything in not outside of the 2000s, it's not really.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but when I looked at Bobby Grich's numbers, they were pretty good. So Bobby Grich, 1981, player strike year. Bobby Grich is my number 2 pick.
Wow, that is amazing.
You might have a good guess of who's my number 1 as well.
Well, can I tell you who my number 2 is?
Huh.
It is Bobby Grich, and it is the 1981
yeah.
Bobby Grich. And the only reason, and can I tell you, because of that strike shortened season and 100 games, he had an amazing 100. Seriously, that could have been his number 1 year if they played a full season.
Oh yeah. If they played a whole like 162.
Yeah.
Was it 162 back then?
I think it was.
Yeah. If he played a whole 162, it would have been his best year.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, he had 5.5 WAR. His highest season per WAR at the Angels was 6, which we will get to momentarily.
Yeah. Maybe we're going to agree on that one. We'll see. Well, so anyway, we're in agreement. I can't argue with you. I was going to for the exact same reason. So, and he was 14th in the MVP All-Star that year.
That's a joke.
14th in MVP.
That's a joke.
We'll take it.
That's a joke. Should have been higher.
Well, he got MVP votes. That's pretty good because that's not typically a thing that too many Angel players get.
That
so
is
we'll
very
take
true.
it.
That is very true.
And let's hear that drum roll. Who we got number 1?
Johnny Giavatella, number 1.
Yeah.
It is 1979, Bobby Grich. 1979, Bobby Grich, 294, 365, 537. I went a little bit of a deep dive on this one. He had a 145 OPS plus, so 45% better than league average. 6.6 WAR. That's the highest. That's his highest WAR number as an Angel. He was an All-Star that year. He had 30 home runs, 101 RBIs. Anytime you get 30 bombs and 100 RBIs, it's a pretty looking number.
Yep.
He also created 103 runs, so it's a stat that just kind of shows, well, if you're not an idiot, how many runs he helped create.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
That's a mathematical thing.
I'm kind of a mathematical guy. He created about 103 runs for the Angels, and also his stolen base percentage that year was 100%.
Wow.
He was 1 for 1.
Woohoo! Go Bobby.
Bobby put on the wheels
picked
one
the
time.
Right time.
He put on the wheels one time, and he got it.
Yeah, he got it. And you notice he's smart. He just said, I got one, and I'm not doing another one because I don't want to ruin my average.
Great stolen base percentage that year.
It is.
It's almost unheard of.
And he had 30 doubles that year, too. Anytime you get the 30 or above.
Look at the doubles. You're good.
The 30 or above. I mean, if you get 30 or above in doubles, you're doing good.
Yeah.
So, That was a good. And the reason I mention that is because we're in agreement again.
Wow.
The 1979 Bobby Grich. Yeah, you can't. Like I said, if he continued what he was doing in 81,
He would have
81 it was his best year. Because in that shortened time, his OPS plus was 165. It just, everything was on tap to be better, but you got to prove that for a full season. And I mean, it was a full season for that year. I get it. But I think just for the fact that he played longer, more games, 153 games he played in 79. So, and there were some other good seasons by Bobby Grich, of course, as well. I think it was his 83 season was good. There were some other ones.
You go through Bobby Grich's baseball reference page, and as soon as he got to the Angels, it was just good season after good season after good season.
10 years.
There weren't a lot of bad seasons.
No,
with
10
Bobby
years
Grich.
10 years with the Angels. I think he played like 8, 7 with Baltimore before we
was 7,
got him.
I think.
I think 7. So yeah, 17 years in the bigs, and
First player in the Angels Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys didn't know that, and also we gotta talk about the mustache.
Well, that was a thing of those times.
I don't care what the time was. It's a better mustache even for that time. It was a gnarly mustache, and he had those glasses too at second base that had the flip ups.
Yeah.
Now you're talking the mustache flip ups. In my opinion, the best Angel jerseys of all time. I love those jerseys, the California Angel jerseys.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard this thing that Nike, because Nike does the jerseys now, and I guess they are forcing all MLB teams to have a total of 4 jerseys.
Yeah.
And the Angels have a home jersey, they have an away jersey, they have an alternate, but they don't have a 4th one. I don't know if they're counting the City Connect jerseys as that 4th one.
Are.
If they're not, we should definitely consider putting the old California Angel uniforms, which we do like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And it's like the sexiest weekend of all time. They look great in those uniforms.
Yeah.
They're good.
It was my favorite as well. I love the outline of the state of California. And that whole look was just good. I like the A from that year.
And what the heck happened? Was it Disney that switched it to that ugly looking
wing with the wing? Yeah, it was from the Angels and the Outfielder movie.
That was gross.
Yeah.
That was one of the grossest.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing because that was around that same time of the Ducks, and they that was also another when they called them the Mighty Ducks.
Disney bought the Ducks too?
Yeah.
That's why they have the movie.
Yes. You didn't know that. Trivia time. Yes, Disney's the one that they didn't buy them. They're the ones that created and brought them onto the scene. Was Disney?
That's
yeah,
funny. I didn't even know.
Yeah, so they were getting into the sports field, and then they got out of it really
quickly.
Yeah. So they held on to the Ducks longer than the Angels, but yeah. So anyway, I think we're in pretty good. I mean, I get why you got Grich. I could have done Grich all 3 years. I just want to do a shout out for Kendrick. And I love Johnny Ray.
Johnny
Ray's my man.
I love Johnny Giavotella.
Oh, we got 2 Johnnies.
2 Johnnies.
2 Johnnies on our list. It's
However,
the Johnny.
Johnny Giavotella is way better.
For 1 week.
You gotta take a look at what Johnny G did.
Johnny G.
Emotionally.
No. Johnny G had an amazing year that 1 year.
I think it was 2015.
Was it the 2015? He had an amazing year. I mean, not all-star numbers, but in just what that guy did, his defense. I mean, this little guy out of nowhere, he was kind of the David Eckstein.
Well, I remember it coming into spring training. We had a couple of guys. I think we even got that guy from the Rockies, like Rutledge or something, and he was going to be our second baseman. He was like almost penciled in to be our second baseman. He's going into spring training, and then they have kind of like, oh well, there's so and so, and then there's Johnny Giavotella. So it's basically going to be this Rutledge guy, and then Johnny G won the spot out of spring training.
Yeah.
Great underdog story, man.
Yep. Johnny G.
When he would get triples, when he dove into third base, he wouldn't just dive. He propelled himself into the air and did like a Superman dive into third.
Oh yeah. He was a fun guy. He was a fun guy. I think we all enjoyed Mr. Johnny G. Oh, another guy that I didn't look at his numbers. I know he at least with us, I don't even know in his career if he would have had a top year, but a guy I forgot to mention that we should mention is Mark McLemore. So he was another guy that I think went on and did better with other teams, but he was another good second baseman.
Very good. Very good.
I think you were alive then.
All right, but I think that's the closest we've gotten in agreements in one of our
almost.
Player lists.
Yeah, we almost were right
100%.
on. We're one player away.
If you just used your head a little bit and decided to go with the obvious better season of Bobby Grich, Not dogging on Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick, obviously Angel legend. Obvious. Not even close.
An OPS plus of 126. That's good.
Yeah, but my third place Bobby Grich had an OPS plus of 142.
Okay.
That's 20% better.
I get it.
It's not even like a. Well, it's like
how many
3%.
how many doubles did he have?
Who cares? He had a 414 on base percentage.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
And a great mustache. Howie Kendrick had facial hair, but he didn't have that mustache.
No, but I love Kendrick, and I had to give him some love.
I did love his batting stance too.
Yeah,
cool. All right, guys.
What's our last subject for the night? I think you have something to say.
I want to talk about something real quick. Now, if you guys tuned in, I don't remember what podcast it was, but we went over some of the new rule changes for MLB. And they have already instilled the newest rule, which has been taking the league by storm, which is the pitch clock. If you guys do not know, I am staunchly against this pitch clock, this creation of the devil himself. First day of spring training, I believe. Not the day where like the Red Sox play the Huskies, the actual first day of spring training.
Yeah, the Saturday.
I believe what the heck was it? Was it Atlanta and Boston? Yes, it was Atlanta and Boston. I'm sure you've seen it. It's bases loaded, 2 outs, games tied, 3-2 count. This is what baseball's all about. And then the batter doesn't look up at the pitcher with 8 seconds left. It hits 7. He's still looking down. It's an automatic strike. Game is over. It's a tie ball game. That was one of the grossest, most grotesque, ugliest jokes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, this is how I'm thinking about it. This is the time when you've got to penalize guys because this is the fact is this rule is there. And so this is the time you want this to happen. So you've got to, if you're not tough now and you plan to be tough during the regular season, you're going to have, I mean, right now these games don't mean anything. You know,
I don't care.
So my thing is now, if this happens during the regular season and a big thing, which it could, then I can see that.
Not
but
that
right
it just
now,
happened in spring training.
Right now,
it was an attack against the art. It was an attack.
Well, I think we all agree that. Well, I don't know if everybody agrees, but I'm definitely with you. We talked about this. I think it was last week that the pitch clock. I mean, all these. I don't like any of them. We talked about our love for baseball, and it's a naturally slow game. And the pace thing, I know, I'm wondering how Shohei's going to end up doing because that guy, I think he was was he the number one slowest pitcher to in between pitches? He's very slow.
I mean, he's slower. I don't think he's the slowest.
No, he was the slowest and he was the third slowest in 2 categories. I can't remember how they broke it down, but that was his biggest concern when they interviewed him is how are you going to speed up? Now, I think for the Angels pitcher, especially their young pitchers, it's going to be helpful because then you're not mentally getting into it, you know? I think that's going to help them. So I'm not saying I like it, but I think there'll be things that we can take positive from it. And if this stuff's going to happen, have it happen in spring. That's what it's for.
Look, I watched the first couple of games, all right? And look, the games without a doubt go quicker.
Yes.
It feels rushed to me. It just feels so unnatural.
Well, you just wait for a couple more years when those robo-umps come out.
Oh, no. No.
They're going to have those.
Have you seen some of the... And for all you people who think that the robo-umps are going to be absolutely perfect, I want you to go take look at some video from the Atlantic League and the minor leagues. You will see some pitches that you don't think are strikes. And truth be told, they might be strikes because it nicks the strike zone at just like the very front part of the plate and then it dives out. I mean, but there's pitches in there's batter's box that are getting called strikes. And it's just ugly looking. Yeah. But I mean, but then the guy turns around to go argue with the home plate umpire. He just points like, hey, it's not me. It's disgusting. Yeah. And I don't know. I saw the final ending. I'm just letting you know right now. There is no reason a game should end bases loaded, tie game, 3-2 count, 2 outs on a pitch clock violation. It's just not right. And you know what? I hope for all the people who are big fans of the pitch clock, I understand where you're coming from. For the MLB who hopes to quicken up the games and hopefully attract some new fans to the game by making the games quicker, I hope the 5 fans you have attracted to watching a baseball game because it's somewhat quicker was worth ruining a bases loaded tie game situation.
Well, I mean, it's here. There's not anything we can do about it.
I still just don't get it. I don't know what young kid is looking at baseball saying, well, the games are 20 minutes quicker. Oh my gosh, I should go watch baseball now. It's no. You have to change the game itself. The game itself is boring. It's boring. All right? No saving of 20 minutes is going to attract any new fans. If you want to attract some new fans, you have to make the game more exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't make, football games are extremely long. They're longer than baseball games. They're like 3 hours on average. Well, why do so many people like football? Because it's exciting. You have 6'5", 280-pound guys just smacking into each other for 60 minutes. It's awesome.
Well, if you think about football, I mean, and I don't know, but most people, football's the second half. You'll look at just before halftime, what's the score? Okay, let's go see what's going to happen in the second half. You can miss the full first half of football, and most games are still within reach.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. But
baseball's a little
it's the
different.
action. It's the action of the sport. If you want to make baseball more interesting, it's the action of the sport.
Yeah.
Like when they were, I think we should give the players laser beams, guns. Maybe we should give them like rocket, what are those things called? Jetpacks? Anything but a pitch clock. A pitch clock's doing nothing. I don't know. I hated every second of it. I thought I was going to hate it, and I did. I hated every single second of it. And I understand it makes the games go quicker. I do not care. I hate it with all my heart. I think it's the most unbaseball-like thing ever to put a clock on on a baseball game. I think it's gross.
Well,
so I wanted to share my absolute displeasure with everybody.
you were not happy about it, and I know you wanted to say something. I will say it's been fun seeing baseball though. We've had what 4 or 5 games? 5 games, I think now.
It has been very fun, and the Angels look very sharp.
5 games in, yeah. I mean, we talked about this earlier. How many times have we won spring as one of the best overall records?
The best spring training team.
You know what I mean? We're a great spring training team. So I don't know. You can't really look at it that way, but I think looking individually at performances,
winning the World Series.
Individually at performances, those are the things you're looking at. I mean, we know our stars are our stars. I think the thing that you're looking at is, I think for the first time, mark this video down. I think give us 2 more years and we'll be in the top 8 in minor league systems, because I think we have so many guys that they're not ranked in that top 100 yet to get us there. But I think we have a lot of guys on the uptick, especially on the pitching side. I know we're still probably not there in the depth area when it comes to position players, because that year we picked all pitchers. But I'm just saying, I think that we're headed in the right direction, and as long as we don't go and gut ourselves at the All-Star break trying to, make the World Series, I think we'll be okay. I mean, obviously we will have to make some moves if we're right there, but it'll probably be bullpen unless we have any injuries. I think it'll probably be more of a bullpen or a starter. Yeah, if there's a starter available out there from a team that implodes.
I do think we have a better minor league system though. People will give us credit for.
I think so too.
And I don't blame the people, because we don't have flashy minor leaguers by any means. But
No.
I mean, but you look at our minor league system, like the Trash Pandas last year, they won the entire league out. The minor league system, the playoffs down there are weird. They have like 2 different playoff.
Well, they have first half and second half.
Yeah, it's I don't know who created that. I don't know what that's.
But I will say this, and someone mentioned this about the Dodgers, because the Dodgers always have a good minor league system, and they said the one thing is that they focus on winning at the minor league level. Doesn't matter how good their players are. They're focused on winning. Why? Because it promotes the winning attitude. So when they leave and they come up, they're already used to winning the minor leagues. Now they're coming into the major league. What do we have? Our minor leagues usually are not very good. So they're used to being on mediocrity at best, or just kind of going through the motions. Then you come up to the big leagues and you go through the motions. So I kind of do agree with that. I think there's a psychology there to that maybe the Angels, like the Trash Pandas, starting to come through. If we get our AAA team doing the same thing and start getting that winning mentality going at the minor league level and have the right coaching down there, I think there's no doubt to me that I think we're a couple of years away from being a top 10. I know right now we're probably in the number 25. We're always somewhere there.
Hey, we do have 2. So. We have 2 prospects in top 100 right now.
Yeah,
and it might be 3.
There's one close.
Two.
Well, there's one close.
Caro.
There's one that's close.
Anchor.
Yeah, there's one that's close, but he's not quite there. But either way, it doesn't matter what everybody says, because the bottom line is it's what you have room for right now, and right now we're pretty filled out. So I think that the big thing right now is they just need to keep drafting, and we got to just keep keeping those guys down there. We haven't been trading away a lot of minor leaguers. I know we traded away a few pitchers this offseason to get Renfroe and Urshela, but other than that,
Joey Elvis.
yeah,
I'm gonna miss Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss his
Mr.
97 to the other side
Yeah.
of the batter's box.
All right. Well, anyway, I think that's another wrap on episode 4 of the Angel Angle. We again appreciate everybody's shout outs this week. I do.
No, we don't.
And Brandon does too. So we appreciate everybody. And this is fun for us. This is our father and son time. So we appreciate everybody joining in on our father-son banter. We just try to keep it from the physical side that you don't get to see.
This isn't banter. This is serious stuff, man. I take this stuff seriously.
No, we know you do.
I don't come up with these lists like 5 minutes before we go on air.
Neither do I. Who would do that? So, some of us have a full-time job. But anyway.
Hey, I'm part-time job, full-time school.
Yeah, that's rough.
Big time deal.
Yeah, that's rough. So anyway,
okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching the Angel Angle.
Go call your friends. Call your mother.
Let's go Halos this
Tell her
week.
you love her.
Go down to spring training. Hey, some people chime in. Tell us if you're down at spring training and what it looks like and how those players look down there. We'd love to hear back from you. Just post it right on our YouTube page.
Or don't. Maybe get a hobby. Maybe go kiss your mother or something.
That is your hobby.
Nope. No, it is not. All right, everybody.
Down at the Angel spring training.
Do something meaningful with your life. All right.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.